with internally how we're going to deliver that, when we're going to deliver that, when we're going to actually have new shows available. This is going to change our schedule here a little bit on the John LeBang Show. We're also, I don't know how we're going to do it yet, but we've been talking about going to a fourth hour internally here. And we're trying to make that happen. And right now we're bouncing back and forth on a few things on how we can make that happen. We're to the point where the Bangerverse is so extensive, so vast, that we could run a fourth hour strictly on the Bangerverse. And we don't know if that's something that we want to take on yet, because we've had other ideas on what to have for a fourth hour. But you can tell the show's expanding because we're considering these stuff, or we're considering this stuff. And we just want to make the right moves at this point. We've got to simplify things for myself in particular, because I'm carrying the bulk of the weight here on the show. Financial as well as, and I'll tell you, folks, it's been tough money-wise lately. We have some small sponsors. We barely get donations, although we did get a donation the other day, and I want to thank the person who sent in the $10 donation. Every dollar is appreciated. We work very hard on the John LeBang Show. We're considering, we had this idea, because we need new equipment, folks. If we're going to continue this show and to produce it as well or better than we ever have, we need better equipment at this point. And the only way to get it is money. There's no other way to do it. Nobody's going to give it to us. But we may have some kind of fundraising idea that will include you at some point. Hopefully some kind of what Alex Jones, and I hate to actually use one of his ideas, but it was a decent idea if you ask me. He used to have these things called money bombs, and people would send him money to help take him to the next level. And now, I mean, Alex Jones is pretty much a mainstream news psychopath or something. Anyways, we got to take a quick break, folks. We're a little long. I blabbed on. When we come back, we're going to talk Black Panther, Marvel, and there's some AC/DC news. We might touch on some other subjects as well. So stay tuned.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Listening there. Don't go anywhere. The John LeBang Show's going to be right back. Just ask the hillbilly.
That's right. Right after this.
What about me? Maybe next time.
Check out the new book from Derek Shelmerdine,
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
It tells the story of rock and roll from its roots right up until the mid-'70s punk.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Not just the music, but also the events that shaped the music.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
It includes the backgrounds to recording sessions, singles, album releases, births and deaths, epic concerts, and festivals.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Shelmerdine has made a painstaking effort to document pretty much every event that would prove significant in shaping popular music.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Purchase the book at www.rockandrollunraveled.com. Follow him at Twitter at R&R Unraveled, and look him up on Facebook at Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
By author Derek Shelmerdine.
Available now.
If you are elderly, disabled, receiving SSI or Medicaid, and you have a medical need or require assistance with daily housework, shopping, grooming, medication, you may qualify for housekeeping at no cost. Call now. VIP Home Healthcare, 248-579-3805. VIP Home Healthcare, there when you need them. That's 248-579-3805.
You're listening to the John LeBang Show.
It's a hell of a good time, isn't it? And I also forgot to mention in the first segment, because I was talking about the CarSquach Creeper so long, that in the fourth segment this hour, you're going to have another version of Celebrity Drop It Like a Deuce. And this week's contestant is Sabrina Fala, artist, vocalist from Ottawa, Canada. She joined us for an interview in the Music Hour, and then we talked her into doing a episode of Celebrity Drop It Like a Deuce. So stick around for that. Now we've got the big week coming up. Marvel's next big movie is on the horizon. We're facing Black Panther. Out in theaters this week. And it's highly anticipated. It's received, which I don't give these guys much credit, but a lot of people do. It's received like 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Although, let's not give Rotten Tomatoes too much credit because they have Last Jedi ranked very high, and The Last Jedi was a horrible movie. That being said, I didn't like Thor Ragnarok either, even though that was ranked very high. I'm hoping that Black Panther's a bit more serious of a movie. And I'm praying to the heavens in the Marvel Universe there that they do not make this a racially motivated movie, because I won't be able to stand it. I want to go into this movie to enjoy it. I want to expand and prep myself for the big Infinity War movie coming up. Because isn't that what Thor Ragnarok and Black Panther were supposed to do? They were supposed to set up the idea of the Avengers Infinity War movie. What we got in the Thor movie, and a lot of people liked that movie for the visuals, had great visuals. But when you sit down and ask them about the story, how'd it go, what happened, it boils down to a couple little things that I won't spoil the movie because I know some of my listeners haven't watched it yet. But I'm hoping the Black Panther movie, which looks, Chadwick Boseman and the cast that is part of this movie seems to be, very talented. We'll make our judgments after the fact, after seeing the movie. There's a lot of people giving it high praise. We'll find out. But some of the big questions about this movie is, where's the Soul Stone? Is it going to be in this movie? And if it's going to be in this movie, how are they going to use it? How is it going to be placed, set up for the Infinity War? Because, in my opinion, I don't think they're going to use the Soul Stone as the center point of the movie. It's going to be there. It's going to be used as a small plot point to set up the bigger picture. Because if you've seen the Infinity War trailers, there's something going down huge in Wakanda. There is a battle going to be raging in Wakanda, and I can only imagine that it will be over the Soul Stone. But where are the stones at this point? Well, we got the Nova Corps. They've got the Power Stone. The Ether was last in the hands of the Collector. His facility there was completely destroyed, so we don't actually know what is going on with the Ether at this point. We know the Tesseract was last seen on Asgard, and it looks like Loki in the trailer is going to be holding it, which means that Loki probably grabbed it on the way out of Thor Ragnarok. I don't think that'll be a spoiler because we all knew that the Tesseract was in Asgard. And we know Thanos has to, at some point, collect the Tesseract. So then we have the Eye of Agamotto on Doctor Strange. That's the time gem. So that's 2 items on Earth. Then we have the Vision. Vision, right there in his head, has another gem. So that's 3 gems on Earth. There's going to be a lot of bad stuff going down in Infinity War. So they might not have the Soul Stone here. See, this might be all set up, and we don't know where the Soul Stone is residing at this moment. And a lot of people were speculating it was in Thor Ragnarok, but it wasn't there. Everybody thought it was in Heimdall. Maybe some other places, but I was certain because Heimdall could see everybody. Every soul out there that the soul gem was in him. And his eyes were the same color. If you hear that noise in the background, I'm sorry. They're plowing all over the place here because they're trying to keep us from being buried under 600 feet of snow. That's an exaggeration. It's only like 200 feet. But with Black Panther coming up, I think this is just to solidify the character. It's going to be a good movie. Probably, if I had to make a guess, they're going to try to keep it more like Captain America Winter Soldier than any other movie in the MCU. In other words, it's going to be like a political thriller versus a heist movie or versus a straight-up big fight movie. And this will be the first time that we've seen some kind of royalty being portrayed in the MCU. So we're going to have that element as well. But I don't know, what are your thoughts on the upcoming Black Panther movie? Are you going to go see it? I know we're getting together with, there's 7 of us going that first night. We're going to go see it, and I will do a review, probably with the guys. I will do a review of the movie and let you know what I think. Because I'm going to be coming from the standpoint of I want a good movie. The visuals are okay, but if the bad jokes are there, it's going to hurt the movie. Just like it hurt the movie in Star Wars, The Last Jedi. You can't throw joke after joke after joke that is inappropriate for the scene. And that's what I'm hoping to avoid. But the last 2 major Disney movies have featured that kind of humor. But again, this one looks more serious. This one looks like it has some kind of repercussions within Wakanda, but I don't think overall it's going to make much of an impact on the world stage of the MCU. In other words, unless they find out that Captain America and the Winter Soldier have been fugitives and they're hiding in there, the Wakandans are protecting them, then that could turn into some major thing. But it doesn't, according to the trailers, it doesn't look like it's going to be the world against Wakanda. It looks like it's going to be some kind of internal struggle for power for the throne of Wakanda. That's how I see it from the trailers, but they trick us in the trailers all the time. So that's my thoughts on the Black Panther. I'm excited. I'm hoping for a good movie. It's been, we had Spider-Man, which, in its own right, it had very good young humor involved in it, and it was very comical. But that's the character of Spider-Man. I didn't like Thor Ragnarok. I personally did not like Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I wasn't a fan of the entire franchise of Guardians. This Black Panther movie, I've been looking forward to it ever since Civil War came out. And I saw Black Panther. To me, he stole the show. Black Panther was great. Right away, he was one of my favorite characters. Didn't take him long. He has the body armor is so cool looking. His voice is cool. Everything about the Black Panther is awesome. He's not overpowered. That's another thing I have a problem with some characters, is that they're so overpowered that it just becomes stupid. I don't know if they had to upgrade Thor's power just to fight Thanos. To me, that was maybe the best visually creative movie they had in the Thor franchise. The story was so poor. They wasted Cate Blanchett.